So I'm not afraid. The only thing is that if the JTF are actually sincere to do what they are asked to do, they'll be able to curb the MEND.
But you realize that most of the solutions will resolve to this mess that we're talking about now. We drop it on the laps of the government. Don't you think that those residing in those areas to have a role to play to help the security operatives too?
They were supposed to have major role to play.
Okay.
But like we said,
haven't they been given the opportunity?
Yes, the amnesty program right from the onset, it was a good idea.
Okay.
Very, very wonderful idea, you know. But from the onset, politicians hijacked it. So it's not following the way it's supposed to be. Okay? So they hijack it. It's no longer the way it's supposed to be. It's no longer the intention of the government, the way the government wanted it to be. These days now it is money. You put them in Asokoro, their leader in Asokoro in Abuja. And you pay them so much.
And you leave them in the creeks.
Yes, you leave the other ones in the creeks. You pay them so much money that even in a month, what they earn is what they just do. The purpose of the amnesty. Let me tell you something. The amnesty is actually not. I don't know if it's, but I know it's an arrangement between the oil companies and the federal government. All right. So the oil companies cough out a percentage of this money that is being paid to these people. But they would have used that money for a better use. Build factories, build houses, build things to actually occupy these people. The way they are going about the whole amnesty is not the intention, it's not the initial intention of amnesty. Frankly speaking. Look at the whole area, look at the whole region. What has happened there? Jonathan is also from the place. Now, for this noise to be coming out from Bayelsa State, where Jonathan is from, you must know that there must be something wrong somewhere. He's not doing what he was supposed to do. I don't know whether it's because of his advisors or something else. But frankly speaking, the man is not doing what he was supposed to do.
Mr. Major, what's eating you up right now? Because I can imagine what you're thinking, because you're from the Niger Delta. You're also from the Niger Delta. You both are, and you know how this place is. You were telling me even before the show started. It's so much, you know, talking about the insurgency issue, that it's nothing new. But you know, is it just a case of amnesty payments not being made? It goes deeper than that, doesn't it? And what role do the people living there too they have to play?
The people before now played very significant role. They played very significant role. The elders went into the creeks, brought these boys out, and said, lay down your arms. You will all be granted amnesty. That's as far as they can go. But then the government itself politicized it. When you tell somebody, even though you've laid down your arms, you are not in our party. Okay. We cannot give you. We
cannot give you.
Look, there are
Which tribe are you? Where are you from?
Where are you from?
We can't give you.
We can't give you money.
Do you understand?
Otherwise, we will be empowering this tribe.
Yes.
Then the elders become helpless, and the elders are turned into liars. The boys come and say, you told us that we should lay down our arms. Now we've done that. They've taken our arms away, and we hear others are being compensated. Where is our own? Some of the elders have even left home. Because the boys harass them. They say, you've taken the money. We believe the money must have been paid to you. You didn't give it to us. So that is the problem. When you politicize everything, that is what results. And until we learn to take things as they are, avoid bigotry, avoid nepotism, these things will continue. This is a tip of the iceberg.
Okay, okay.
What is even happening is that they've selected some very visible militants. I don't want to mention names because I told you earlier that if we say all that we know, there will be explosion. They have selected some very visible militants and are empowering them massively with a lot of money and preparing for 2015. Government is not thinking of of insurgency, or they are thinking of the next election.
Wow.
So some of these people have more money than they can ever use, and the foot soldiers are let loose. Those who cannot go into kidnapping, as you find in Imo and Anambra, it is ex-militants that are kidnapping people there. Those who cannot go into that one, go back to the creeks. Then they break the oil pipelines. They load barges. He made an allusion to somebody, a corporal who is riding a jeep. Virtually, very many people ask for transfer, ask to be sent to JTF in the Niger Delta. Soldiers apply for, please take me there, and they pay. Police, Navy.
Wow.
So if there are, the insecurity is not just as to the insurgency. It told you too that there's more to it than meets the eye. Is there a collaboration, even very faint, between the JTF and some of these militants?
Is there a link?
Is there a link? You hear that oil is being stolen, with the JTF hovering all over the place, with brand new M135 helicopter gunships from the Soviet Union. Where are the ships coming from? With the Nigerian Navy, the most powerful Navy in West Africa. Oil has been stolen. Who is stealing it?
That is a big question. That is a big question coming from Mr. Barrister Mejele there. Now, but before we go on, before I take on my next question, I would like us to take a look at this report, an interview with Assistant MEND leader, Henry Okah. Let's see this report. Assistant.
To visit your camps, but before we proceed, I want you to introduce yourself to us by telling us your names, who you are, and what you do.
You're welcome. I'm Boy Love, one of the MEND leader, the deputy to Henry Okah.
Deputy to Henry Okah?
Yeah.
What's the situation of Henry Okah right now?
Well, Henry Okah is in detention. I think the federal government early hostage.
Can you tell us what is the meaning of MEND?
The meaning of MEND is Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta.
Can you tell us some of your goals, some of your aims and objectives?
Well, actually, MEND rose up, as a matter of fact, because of the marginalization and the brutality of the Nigerian states. And you know, the Nigerians oppress the people. And if you look into it, the Niger Delta people are the people that feed the nation. But nothing is being paid back to the people. That is why we call Nigerian government tyrants, you see. So, like now, if you look into the Niger Delta, the people are suffering in total abject poverty. Nothing to write home about. The host communities, people produces oil. At the end of the day, everything goes back to the politicians and the Nigerian states, the oppressors. So I think it's high time we fight back. So that is why we decided to go on this violence. And back in the days, our people go on placard, dialogue, and all the rest. You see, it doesn't work. You have to change your ways. I think this is the only way. We have to use it tackling the Nigerian state, because the Nigerian state understands the trigger play more than the dialogue.
What are some of the things that constitute this violence that you just mentioned?
Really, it's not a strange thing in Nigeria. Everybody knows the Niger Delta is less developed. 1. 2. The law is being imposed on the Niger Delta people, that's the minorities. 3. Our right is not being given to us. And the kind of system we operate in Nigeria is never a true federalism. It's a kangaroo system of operations. You can see where people produce oil at the end of the day, other people benefit from it, and the people that produces the oil are the slaves. You can imagine that. And the federal government brutalized our people with military, in collaboration with the multinationals, which is the oil company, for instance Shell, Egypt, Chevron, and so on. You can imagine that. So it's high time we put a stop to it. We have to put a stop to it. Enough is enough.
All right, that was a report brought to you showing second in command in the movement for emancipation of the Niger Delta terrorist group, speaking on their agitations in the Niger Delta. Now, Mr. Enigotu, now yes, look at the situation on ground. Now, does it point to the statement that former President and General Olusegun Obasanjo said that Nigeria might be in a threat of revolution if care is not taken? Do you agree with that statement? Because of the man of that pedigree to say something, it should carry some weight.
Yes, before we started this program, I told you something. I said, every action that is not based on truth, okay, we always collapse.
Okay.
People are seriously aggrieved, especially in that area, Niger Delta, because the initial plan of this amnesty is not what it is now.
Okay.
So many people are aggrieved. All right? So there could be a revolution. It could turn out to be anything. A very explosive one even in the future. But the truth is that the federal government need to come back to the drawing board and rearrange this program to benefit the people who are producing these states, not to just pick some particular individuals from a particular place. I want to ask you a question. Of all the leaders of this terrorist group, which other tribe is there apart from the Ijaw people?
Mr. Enigotu, that would be turning the table.
That's what I'm telling you. Because
no, that's why you're here. So yeah, you should answer the question
for
me.
Which of them? Is it the Ijaws? Okay, let's even Bayelsa and Rivers. Are they the largest oil producers in the country? No. People are in Calabar now. Delta is there. Edo is there. These are strong oil producing communities. So why is it that the people there, if you are not an Ijaw person, okay, you are not entitled to amnesty?
Okay.
So I am looking at a situation where these things will explode.
All right. All right. And the general did say that we are sitting on a time bomb. Do you agree with President Olusegun Obasanjo? He talked about unemployment, poverty, and all that. But can it be linked also to what is happening in the Niger Delta?
Well, why does the general always pontificate when he's out of power?
Okay.
I agree with him because I have listened to the message and not the messenger.
The messenger, okay.
He was in power for 8 years. He didn't do anything.
He didn't do anything.
Most of these things are his legacies. 8 years was enough for him to do a lot of things. Did he not know then that there was unemployment? When he turned everything out. He hijacked our democracy. He aborted our aspiration to have a thriving democracy like other advanced countries of the world. But having said that, what he said is correct. What he said is correct. The only place I disagree with him is that he thinks that the revolution is in prospect.
Okay.
I know it has started. What is revolution? Armed robbery is revolution. They're asking questions. They're asking questions. Boko Haram is revolution. Kidnapping.
It's revolution.
MEND is revolution.
You were saying in some states it's a risk to be walking public at a certain time.
Yeah. Once you are identified as a professional, you are just kidnapped. It's routine. Some have been kidnapped twice. They come for you. It's now negotiation. Say, okay, don't worry. The money will not be as much as the last time. They keep you there for as long as your people are able to sell your house and send it to them. So the revolution has started. People are thinking that everybody is going to come out and start fighting. That is not, that will be the height of it. Yeah. That will be the height of it. It has started. The people are already asking questions. Even though you may not agree with their method.
All right.
Boko Haram is asking questions of northern leadership. Religious leadership, political leadership, social, cultural leadership of the North. They're asking them, of what use are you? What happened to your 35 years in power? When you cannot get a job, why do you go to school? These are questions. And they are running away from it. That is why we need proper federalism. They are running away from it and blaming the president. Oh, grant them amnesty. Oh, do this. Have they identified these people? Well, we're not discussing them today, so let me recall from going that way.
Okay.
Revolution is a challenge to a situation. It's either a challenge to failed leadership or it's a challenge to a doctrine somebody does not accept. But once that challenge comes, the revolution has started. Let nobody make a mistake that there is no revolution. It has started.
Interesting.
There are some, let me tell you,
okay.
There are some places today, there are some states in Nigeria today that I know, like Kogi, Edo. There are sometimes you are traveling on the road, you will find very many vehicles parked by the side of the road. And then you ask what is happening, say, armed robbers are on the road. You all wait 2 hours, 3 hours, until they decide to leave.
All right, let me take from Mr. Enigotu. Mr. Enigotu, tell me, what's your panacea to this whole challenge that is being faced by the government and security forces? In spite of the fact that they've been speaking, they've been putting a strong stance, trying to reassure the populace and Nigerians that all is well. But we certainly know better now. What do you think should be the way forward?
The way forward is the government should come open.
Okay.
Look at the area and develop the area. Give job to these people. Provide houses for this area. Provide amenities for this area.
Okay.
Hospitals. Let there be government present and let these people be absorbed.
All right.
En masse. Let them be absorbed seriously. Because you see, these things, like I told somebody sometime, there's what we call in this country quota system that have been on for a very, very long time. People saw this thing that time and said, look, there's certainly going to be a revolution. These are fallout of some of this quota system issue. When you look at NNPC, from the head down to a particular place, you will not get anybody from that area. It's Alaji, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Whereas we have people who are qualified, and because of quota system, they will not get there. So the fallout of all these things are part of this militants. Taking into this, taking into that.
Okay.
Your child will be able, just for example, you come from Edo State, your child will get a particular mark in even a common entrance, your child will not get the opportunity. Okay. Somebody who has much lower mark in somewhere because they are disadvantaged state, these are just the fallout. You cannot get to the military because you are from a particular state. These are the problems. So all these issues have to be resolved.
All right.
If they want us to actually live in peace, all these issues need to be resolved. And this quota system of 18, look at DSA, for example. DSA was established. Okay? They brought in Brume and some other people. The place was vibrant then. They now change it. You know, brought in somebody who read, was it a history or something, to become the managing director of the place because he's from a particular tribe. Okay. The deputy, somebody from a particular tribe. And they troubled. Okay. Today, you can't talk about DSC. So these are part of the problem. NNPC too, the same thing.
Okay. Due to time, let me take Mr. Mejele's conclusion on the issue. What do you think government should do now?
I always say that what we need is proper federalism.
Okay.
Even if you bring an angel to be the president of this country,
okay,
with the present constitution that we run, it will not do much. It will not be able to do much. We need proper federalism.
Okay.
There is a peculiar problem in Bayelsa. There's a peculiar problem in Ondo. There's a particular problem in Delta.
Okay.
Let these people control their resources. Pay a measure of the money that accrues to the federal government. And then let them use their money to solve their problem. You want to own a university, own it. That's why you have this problem of all these unions all over the place. ASU. ASU has no business in a federation like this. If you are a lecturer in the University of Lagos, the man in Maiduguri should not expect to earn the same thing like yourself. So these are issues we need state police. Okay. But when we say some of these things, some of these people who are benefiting now and are not interested in the future of this country, oh, they shut you down. Okay. So that is the thing. Because as it is now, the type of police that you have that would have detected all these things before they start cannot do it because it's a commercialized police. Yes. It's a police that is established to protect the government
and not the interests
and those in power. Okay. So it's not the police for the people.
Okay.
So these are some of the problems we have. But because of time, we will not be able to say. The Nigerian state must become a proper federation.
Federated state.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister. Thank you, gentlemen. I really want to thank you for coming on the show. Viewers, it has been a very interesting time out with this gentleman and talking about Barrister Omon Emejele, legal practitioner, a consultant and public policy analyst. I've also had Mr. Ignatius Enigotu, brand and advertising executive, social commentator, and political analyst. And we've been talking about, ever since, the MEND and new threats of insurgency in the Niger Delta. Well, you've heard it from them, and they advocate for true federalism, true federation, where power is devolved from the center, and a government that deals with transparency and ethnic, no ethnic issues, talking about marginalization and all of that. Well, I hope you've gotten a lot from this discourse, and certainly we look forward to another time with you on the agenda. My name remains Henry Williams. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Till I see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
I want to ask a question. Yes, please. We are no longer...